What's happening, people? My name is Dirty Mike, and welcome to my first team review of the year. And if you're new to this series, then it's all about giving me the ins, the outs, and breaking down some of the top squads in FIFA 14. And in this EP, we've got one of my favorite teams to use over the last couple of years, PSG, and I think they're even improving. Tier 1 squad, and they're probably in the top 4 overall this year. I think definitely Bayern's ahead of them and Real Madrid, but outside of that, they're right there. Just nudging the top guys. And they've got a great balance between defense and midfield and attack. And the first formation we're looking at is the 4-1-2-1-2. And as for custom tactics, I'm trying to quickly pass and try to build up on the wings a little bit, because if you're going to use PSG and you're not going to cross the ball, this is not the right team for you. I'm not saying you need to whore the wings, but you have to be willing to play balance, because Ibra and Cavani, those guys are monsters in the air. And you wouldn't be utilizing the type of squads you have if you don't cross the ball in on some sort of regular basis. And then as for defense, and this is really important because I think defensive positioning this year is a huge flaw in the gameplay. It's very hard to predict. I'm using very low aggression, low pressure, a cover back line. I want them to stay back. I do not want to get counterattacked. And I won the Division 9 and 10. And unfortunately, it says that I lost 2 games, but I only lost 1. I quit out of one of the matches in the first 5 minutes. If you follow me on Twitter, then you already know about this. And you've always been able to do that in any FIFA that I've played since 2004 when I first started playing online. However, they changed that policy this year. I will start a forum post. I disagree with that because they don't let you know what the latency is either. So you don't know if you're getting into a game with good connection or bad connection, and that's kind of a bummer. Drop a comment and make sure to let me know which squad you want to see me do next, because I've got a big list here. And if you haven't seen my video that goes through the top 32 teams, that's who I will be reviewing to start this out and get things moving. And let's look at the defense. So you have Maxwell, you got Marquinhos, you have Thiago Silva, and you have Vanderwill. All 4, pretty solid. I wish Maxwell was a little bit faster, but his stamina's good, positioning looked good. Vanderwill has a lot of pace on the outside. Thiago Silva is one of the best center backs, if not the best in the game. That you can't really go wrong. And Marquinhos has good pace, good interceptions. I felt like they did well in the air. No complaints about the defense. Unfortunately, Sirigu was a letdown. And that's a bold statement because last year, he was such a good keeper. I mean, he was really good. And this year, his stats look great, but I let in some stupid goals. He conceded some dumb stuff, and I wasn't that impressed. I wouldn't co-sign him too far. And then we're looking at the CDM role. Matuidi, very obvious positional choice. I don't think there's really another CDM that's necessarily better in League 1 unless you need a power CDM, because Matuidi's not going to be that guy. He's very small. He's good at interceptions. He tackles well, but in the air or having that presence in your midfield, he's not going to give that to you. And the second formation we're looking at is the 4-2-2-2, and nothing really changes other than I'm moving Pastore now to a CDM as opposed to the center attacking midfield role that I have him in the 4-1-2-1-2, and I love him. I think Pastore may be the MVP on this team right behind Ibrahimovic, because Ibra is just disgusting. My 3 standout performers, amazing players, Ibra, Pastore, and Thiago Silva. Pretty obvious choices there. And then 3 guys that were a little bit disappointing, Sirigu, Cavani, and Lucas were a little bit underachieving for the expectations I had. Lavezzi was what I expected Lavezzi to be. Played the wing, right place, right time. I didn't score many goals with the outside wingers, unfortunately, but Ibra was able to put up 16. Main goal scorer there. We had 32 while conceding 6 in 10 games, even though I know it's 11, but I didn't play that one match. And unfortunately, the partnership up front with Cavani and Ibrahimovic, which just looked like heaven on paper, it wasn't that good. Cavani this year, stats look good, everything is right, but I didn't like his positioning, and I've never been one to complain about the high work rates. I thought Cavani didn't know what was going on. He looked very lost at times, and they didn't play off each other. It was like 2 individual players, but not one of them wasn't helping the other one, and I liked it last year better when I had Lavezzi teamed up with Ibra as a 2-striker setup, and I think if you're using PSG, I would recommend always playing 2 strikers with them, just because I don't like leaving Ibra alone, because he's not the best counterattacking player. He is good at skills, he is powerful, he's got an amazing shot, he's great in the air, but his pace is not outstanding and it's not getting better. So I like to team up with somebody fast. If any of you guys have tried Lavezzi up front with him, let me know how that went, because I wanted to give Cavani the benefit of the doubt before I just decided that partnership was a no-go, but nothing special. Really nothing special. Definitely Cavani was my #1 underperformer. Skill moves were slow. Didn't win 50-50 opportunities in the air. Positioning was weird. I just was so disappointed because I guess I had a predetermined notion that he was going to be a really solid player. And I even like him in Ultimate Team, but head-to-head, it was kind of a different experience, at least with PSG. It's one of those, it's either you go with Cavani, you either go with Ibra, and I think teaming them up with either Menez or Lavezzi or even Lucas might be a better route. So if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and follow me on Twitter at MikeSo9USA. I have a lot more content coming for you ASAP.